feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the face shit. Look around, I feel like everybody is the fakest. I'll make this. Every day I'm impatient. Hoping one day I'll blow up in the face. Mistaken. The talk is so vacant. Holy shit. What is going on, guys? We are back with another video. We got Brad's 04 Mustang GT. We recently did a Boss 302 Coyote Swap, whatever you want to call it. It's got an ESS Supercharger. It's got a Vengeance clutch in it, still with a 3650. We're on 93 Octane today, and this is the first time it's going to be on the Dyno. We've already street tuned it with Rob Shoemaker, Palm Beach Dyno. So we're going to make some hits and see what the ESS G3X will put out. We got the, is it the 120 mil Pulley?
Yeah, that's the 120, and then we got the 110 hiding in the back seat.
So we're gonna make a run, see where the data looks like. We got a little bit of Octane booster just in here, just as a safety net, because the 93 in the winter gets a little meh. So we have that in there just as a safety. We're gonna see what it puts down on the 120, and then if everything's looking good and the knock sensor's happy, fueling's good, we'll put the 110 on it. But we've already logged it on the street. It's perfect, timing's there, knock sensor's adding timing. So yeah, we are over at Boost King Tuning. He's actually pretty local to us and has a dyno that we can go ahead and rent and do some cool things. So we'll probably be using this a little bit more here and there. But I'll leave some contact info down below. So if you guys want to go ahead and get your car, on a dyno, tuned, whatever, and you're local to DeLand, Volusia County area, I will give you guys that info. You can go ahead and email and set something up. We got the car strapped down. We're gonna make some hits here very shortly, and I'm very excited to see what it puts down. I know Brad is.
I'm very excited.
I think we got about 1,000 miles on the engine, clutch, everything really. So, and you've been pretty much daily driving it too.
For the most part. I mean, when it was really cold, I actually didn't drive it. I drove other things, but I've driven it pretty much daily since we got it fully running. We're just over 1,000 miles. Parker was very insistent that we get the 1,000 before we do anything on the dyno, so made sure we got that number. The organics take a little bit longer to break in than the ceramics, like the stage 2 and the stage 3. So we'll see what it does. Yeah,
this is a 10 spline 3650 bone stock.
I'm excited to see what it does. We'll probably try and keep it below 750 for now, and then once we upgrade to the Magnum, we'll do at least the stage 2 clutch and go from there, and probably take it up and maybe max boost it one day and try for 4 digits.
Yeah, I mean, we know that this head unit is capable of that. I've seen somewhere in the neighborhood of 740, 750 wheel on 93 slash with a boosting additive on 93 with a G3X on a Gen 3 car. This one has a little bit less compression, so I'm saying there's no way we're not going to see a mid-6 number. I'm just shooting a little bit on the low. So, which coming from 270 wheel horsepower with the 2 valve, I mean, it's
a huge upgrade, and I really haven't gone hard with the car. I mean, we've done a couple 3rd gear pulls in it, a low speed 4th gear pull, but I haven't really beat on the car at all. So I'm very interested to see what it'll do, and then go from there, play with it a little bit.
Oh yeah, let's see what it does. reason. But 644, we saw a little bit of knock on there. We're running some 93, and I think we're battling some of this 93 winter blend. So Brad just went to go get some Octanium. We're just gonna toss a little bit more in there. He put 1 can to a full tank, and typically I would put 1 can to about half the tank. So we're just gonna go ahead, throw another one in here. We're already here on the dyno strap down, so let's get that knock out of there and make sure we got plenty of octane to go ahead and make a nice solid rip. 644, it's not bad. It's not bad to start off. So there's also a few codes that are kind of popping up from the control pack that might be causing it to run a hair richer. It's showing an OL fault. So we're just going to turn a few things off, being that you don't have a fuel pump driver module and stuff like that with a Coyote swap like this. So we're going to go ahead and turn a few things off and flash a tune in and get some octane booster in it and go make another run and see if we can make, I'd imagine if it sees all the timing, somewhere around 650, 670 on the high end. And if the knock sensors are happy enough, we'll throw the smaller pulley on. But 644, you can't argue with that. That's not bad at all. You got the goods? So I think with that we'll make about like 650, 660. If it's really happy, 670.
Okay.
So, and if we see no knock, then I would give the go ahead to put the smaller pulley on it. We only see about 11 pounds of boost up top.
Okay.
So it peaks out high, but like it sees 7 down low.
When he said 12, I was like, 12?
Yeah, I'll show you on the dyno graph. I mean, it's good boost. I mean, but if you look down here, so that's like 4 pounds. 5, 6. You're at 7. You hit 11 for most of that, and then you get a hair of 12 up top. Century boost curve. You can change this to RPM. That's one of these. Speed, engine RPM. There you go. So you can kind of see down there where I lay into it, we only have 3 pounds of boost down low. So this could potentially either running a higher boost setup would drastically change your down low, but that's going to help you get traction. But where you're making all the power up top, but you could wastegate this, and make like 10 pounds down low, and it would be nasty.
Yeah.
Another contributing factor to the low torque is, well, for one, it is a boss motor, so they're known to make a little bit less torque, but also you have 410 gears too, so it doesn't load it up super hard down low. So, but either way, 648, and that's on SAE smoothing 5. So, and it's actually a little cold. I'd be assuming that it's pulling a little bit of power out of the number.
Okay.
So, just for like note, so the SAE, with it being cold, it's probably pulling a little power out of the output number, but on a standard correction, 669. We're gonna switch it back over to SAE so we can see what we do on the next run. But I figured it was worth noting that, I mean, we're making good power and the car's running, it's running good.
Yep.
So there's no issues there.
How much knock did it see? Was it just a little bit?
Just a little bit, but it only peaked out timing at about 15 degrees, and we saw 17 and a half the other day.
It's not knocking as bad as it was that first time.
Yeah, well, because you have a little bit octane booster.
Yeah.
I think we're running into the 93 winter blend. I think even if I drive OG in this cold weather, like I should put
the same.
Exactly.
It's unfortunate because it's boost weather. It's colder, but if the octane's not there, then that kind of sucks.
Exactly. So we're back loaded with our SAE correction. Brad's gonna load the octane booster in, and I just closed out of everything.
677.
All right, so that run, pretty good. I think it was 670 something. You guys probably saw it. I can't remember what it was, but we picked 677. Brad's gonna remember that. So that's pretty good. Data looked pretty good. It seems like we cleared up some of the issues that we were looking at. Clearly, VP Octane worked. We got significantly more timing on the hit. We saw more torque. So I feel safe enough. We got 62-pound injectors in here, but I think we feel safe enough to go ahead and throw a little bit more boost. We're going from the 120 mil pulley to the 110. So this is only going to be mostly a dyno thing. I don't really think. Oh, okay, so that's 110. I thought you handed me the really small one.
No.
I didn't know if you wanted the party,
but we got the 100 mil.
That one's the party pulley. So this is a 110. I don't know what this is going to add. Maybe 1-2 pounds of boost everywhere, I would assume. So even down low, where that torque's a little bit low, it's going to pick up a little bit of power. There's some other things you can play around with Sentry setups to get some boost down low. You can do a wastegate setup to, you know, kind of ramp in some boost down low if you were kind of lacking down low. But these Sentries love to live in the upper RPM range, and some of the big benefits of them is that they actually have traction when you floor them on the hit. So that's a little bit of the benefit of that down low kind of being a little lacking. Once you shift a gear, you're just gonna fly with this. So Brad is swapping that on. It's a super simple swap. I think I showed when we got the ESS kit, we had all 3 pulleys, 3 belts, all labeled, ready to go. So we got to use them. We have them. So let's do it. So Brad had already yanked off the pulley before he even grabbed the camera. So that's
It's not hard. It's super easy. The only thing probably will have to pull up the belt routing again just to verify that everything's correct. But it runs on the same serpentine system that the alternator's on.
Yeah, which I think is a benefit from tacking on an additional balancer and kind of putting all that stress on the crank. Only time will tell though, Brad. But we rebuilt this engine in the shop and she's running great. Putting Brett on the spot. So this is Brett. We're using his dyno here. This is also the guy that taught me at the tuning school a few weeks ago in Indy when we were freezing our butt off.
Yeah, that was cool.
And he has a school shop. So I mentioned earlier that people can hit you up if they want dyno time, tuning, whatever. Do you still mess with like the older 3-valve and 2-valve stuff?
When they're really clean.
Okay.
Put together well, I'll mess with them.
People always ask me, they're like, who does that? And I'm like, I don't know, Tony. That's really it. I mean, there's not a lot of people who want to mess with the older stuff.
I've got a Pro-Charged Mach 1 coming next week.
Ooh, that's fun.
So, but it's ultra clean, well kept. I mean, you know, just no junk. All right?
Yeah. So I'll leave his email down below if you have any questions. Basically, what Volusia County area is.
Yeah, Central Florida. You know, I got people from Ocala, Tampa, just travel from all over. Just send me an email or shoot me a DM, and I'll get back to you.
Or take a tuning school class.
Or come visit me there.
Yep. So I definitely learned a lot. I mean, you can see that I got a lot better with the scanner. You showed me like a few, like 3 small things, and it just made my life so much easier with the scanner.
You're doing great over there. Like, I thought I'd have a lot more advice to give you, and you're kind of in it already. So
yeah, I mean,
it's like the Gen 1 because it's
easy.
I'd say it's a little easier, but like at the same time, like Coyote tuning's not easy, so you're doing good.
Oh, I'm flying around the menus now. Yeah. Like there was so many like just little things that were just like, is that how that works? And you just like answered all those questions. So like I tuned an F-150 last week and I was just flying through the menus. I was like, I know where that is. I know where that is. I just all over.
Once you do a few of them, then you start making templates and you're just like,
yep,
you got them. So
yeah. How are we making out, Brad?
Okay.
Just pull the motor down.
Yep.
526 torque. And it did it at just about 14 PSI.
Hell yeah. That was one small pulley change?
Yeah. It's amazing what 10 millimeters does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing what 10 does. 10 millimeters, boys. That's all you need.
Don't hear the blower at all. 730.
Only made a little bit more, so it's stock limited at this point. 730 though.
And what was it before?
728.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
No, I take it back out. That's where you ship it.
I think we're good there.
Cool.
Unless you want a smaller pool.
Yeah, they bought.
I think that is mission success. So 93 without the octane booster is not the happiest, but get some good octane in there, does pretty good. And then adding boost picks up quite a bit of power. Boost curve looks awesome. You can tell that there's no belt slip whatsoever there. It looks great. And the ESS doesn't make a ton of boost down low, but it's going to help you with traction. You can see this 4 PSI on that larger pulley, and then the smaller pulley, it's picking up about a pound of boost down low, but it starts progressively picking up a little bit more boost up top, and we saw a peak of 14, so it picked up about 2 peak on from the pulley to pulley. So, and that
PSI to pick up 50 horsepower.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, I'm sure if we put the 110 pulley on here, we would be probably knocking on the door of like 770, maybe 780. If you put ethanol in here, we'd be seeing 800 without a problem. It's making power.
She's rowdy.
Yeah. So once again, thank Brett. Got some quick dyno pulls in.
Absolutely, guys.
And yeah, we're gonna go wrap up. Be safe on your drive home, because from the way you have been driving around on regular gas, you have gained 80 wheel horsepower.
That's huge.
That's huge. So be safe. Lower the tire pressure. You guys saw it on the dyno. Let's go take it for a ride and see what 728 wheel horsepower feels like. All right, stock 3650, hold in there please. Oh boy, it starts to rip up top.
It does. It comes in hard.
Yeah, we spun the tires pretty good there. There's a cop there too. I think we're good. Just put it in fifth. Be quiet, boy. Be a quiet boy, Brad.
It is quiet.
I think we're still fine. It's just gonna look weird when we turn around. drop a gear and disappear?
Oh my God.
Don't do that.
I could outrun it.
Just. Oh boy. On the top end, it's very fast.
I only went to like 6.5, 7.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, up top, it really starts to rip.
It feels really good.
All right, what do we do, Brad?
We did the Chinese fire drill, did the old swap-a-roo.
So, I wasn't gonna do this. I'm gonna go real easy on the old girl here, the 3650. But in the passenger seat, I think Brad has to experience his own car, because you may not feel like a huge abrupt power hit from down low, but up top, it just starts to yank you back into the seat. So, I think Brad has to experience that.
You're good my side.
Yeah, I think there's some bikes coming up. Your seat, I sit so low, I'm not used to it.
Alright. The clutch definitely feels different than the stage 2.
Yeah. Heat the tires a little bit and it scoots. Wow.
She's so fast. I love it.
It scoots. I'm trying not to get aggressive on your brakes either, because those are still GT brakes.
Yeah, that's on the list. We got a little bit of a list. Andrew and I actually figured out not too long ago, we talked about a bunch of events we want to go to, and up at the top is Ponies in the Smokies. So
Yeah.
we
Gotta get the brakes for that.
we gotta get the brakes fixed. We're gonna do the rear end of my car. OG's got a couple little things we need to touch on.
I forgot, you still are rolling 28 spline stock rear end in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, it's good that you spin and you don't get that dead hook in like second gear, because otherwise,
I might break some more stuff back there.
Stay away from any sort of wheel hop. Any wheel hop and you're done, bud. You're done. But you feel it up top. That went all the way to 8.
Dude, it pulls you back. It does.
You see what I mean? Like on the hit, you're like, okay, this feels good, and it's like, oh, there's a lot more.
Like the Cobra, it's instantaneous, and it's like throws you back. This gives you a little bit of a warning.
Point it at yourself, right?
It feels really, really good.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I love how it feels.
I mean, it's kind of weird how the exhaust sound in here is a little bit quiet.
It's very quiet, but when we were at the dyno,
It was loud. It was in your ears loud.
It's not like the Cobra loud. It's a little bit more mellow, but it was so loud, like I couldn't even hear the supercharger.
No one make fun of shifting this video. We got a 3650 and we have to shift it slow in order to keep it alive.
It's kind of like OG, but with a much better clutch.
Yeah, it's got the clutch for it. Like you can shift it fast, the gear just may never engage. But yeah, I took it all the way to Limiter there, right about 8. So that's kind of where I stopped on the dyno. I just brought it all the way right to 79, 8, and then that's it. But the clutch feels good. It does feel different though. I've driven the stage 2 and stage 3 Vengeance clutch, and all 3 of them are working really well on their own application, you know?
Yeah, and even for making 700 horsepower, we're still not at the extreme limit of this clutch. We still got a little bit of playroom with it.
Yeah, I think that we have some room. You know, the trans our thing that's going to hold us back in injectors. But once you have bigger injectors and trans, I mean, I don't think there's any issue with making 900 1,000 wheel with the G3X. I mean, we saw how much horsepower gain?
It was a 50 horsepower gain. It went from 677 to 728.
With a 10 millimeter like pulley. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We have the 100. I think it would even make like about 800 on this, like, you know, 93 with booster. So that's crazy. This G3X is awesome. The swap is awesome. The engine's awesome. Clutch is awesome. You know what? The trans is awesome because it's being a good sport.
It is. It really is.
So hit the like button. Pick up a Coyote at Freedom Parts Outlet. Check out Brett's tuning page down below and all the fun stuff. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.